Welcome back to Roosevelt Field. Norristown leading Pennridge 15-0 at halftime. Well, Norristown offense dominating in the second quarter. Really, what are they doing right tonight that's put 15 points on the board for them?
Well, they've been patient, and that's the key. I think they have all the talent in the world, and they just decided to be patient and let that talent come out. The first quarter did not start well. We saw about 3 series back and forth with no first downs, and then coming into that second quarter, Norristown just ran the ball. That's basically what they're doing right. They're running the ball, and they're using that quick athletic line to help Troy Swittenberg out and just give him the cracks that he needs to get through the line and then get downfield. Have utilized the passing game for the big plays tonight. Just the one completion down the sidelines to Edmonds, and then you saw the touchdown pass late in the first half to Ernie Terrell. Audley Stewart, great ball handling tonight, and is really being a very effective and efficient pocket passer.
Looking on the other side of the ball, Pennridge has had no success on offense tonight. What do you think Coach Jeff Hollenbach is saying at halftime, and how can he keep his offense positive, thinking that they can score points against this Norristown team?
Well, he's going to have to make a few adjustments, probably get the speed of Jason Rhodes involved a little bit more. Really, they have to avoid the mistake. They moved the ball a little bit right towards the beginning of that second quarter. I don't think they're going to do it through the air, and there's certainly enough time. You have to keep your players patient and let them know that there's plenty of time. You just need the 2 touchdowns and then the 2-point conversion, so they can run their own ball control at this point. We mentioned that the top 3 receivers for Pennridge were running backs, and so far they've only had a chance to complete 1 pass to the running backs, and that one was dropped. So if they are going to go through the air, they're going to have to utilize the short passing game, and so it's going to be like a ball control offense, but doing it through the air.
Well, in my mind, I don't think you can beat Norristown in the air when you think about it, because you look at the 4 guys you have back there. We discussed that last interception where Swittenberg was man-to-man coverage, and James Edmonds just stepped in and said, "Thank you, I'm a receiver, and I'm going the other way."
Well, the only way you can do it, you have to have the players, first of all, and it's yet to be seen that Pennridge does. I don't know if the system, in and of itself, is going to work for them. They're going to have some great individual plays. But you have to take advantage of Norristown's defensive system, and that's the 5-2. Edmonds and Hadrick, certainly great safeties, great size, very athletic. You can't throw over the top of them. You can't throw by them. Both great hands, great size, great speed, really everything you want in a safety. You're not going to throw past the corners. Audley Stewart's very athletic and very fast, and Troy Swittenberg's a top state speedster, and we've seen him have blanket coverage the couple times they've gone to him tonight. What you have to do is throw short, 5 to 10 to 15 yards between the linebackers and the safeties. You have to remember with the 5-2, obviously the 2 is the linebackers. And good as Jameel Butler and Lou Samba are, they're only 2. If you can flood that short area behind the defensive line, you're going to have some guys open. And then you're going to have to challenge Norristown safeties to come forward, and then maybe you can throw over the top of them. Right now, Norristown safeties play deep, because all they have to do is prevent against the big play. Pennridge has not tested the middle of the field yet.
The thing that I think is really impressive tonight is that Norristown, they put up 47 points last week, and their offense has been, flying on all cylinders the last 3 weeks. When it comes down to the big game, it all goes back to the running game. And Audley Stewart hasn't thrown the ball a lot tonight, and he's thrown it when he had to and run when he's had to.
Right, they used the one planned running play, and that was the rollout down by the goal line that eventually resulted in Swittenberg's 1-yard touchdown plunge. The other time Audley Stewart tried to take off and run was early in the game. I think it was his first pass attempt. And from then on, he said, "Hey, I don't have to get out of the pocket. My line's doing a great job. I can just wait and throw to my 2 good wide receivers." And that's why he has not had happy feet at all. You've seen him take a full 5-step drop, step up into the pocket, and deliver the ball well. They'll throw just to keep Pennridge off balance, but really there's no need to get off the ground with 15-0 lead.
Norristown has had a streak of 5 games of shutouts, I believe. That was broken last week. That was only 1 play, the first play of the game. Cheltenham, an 80-yard running play for a touchdown. And that streak goes back to last year, the last game against PW. That Thanksgiving game that they played down at Plymouth Whitemarsh. So this is a defensive team that hasn't gotten a lot of points scored in a while. Last time that happened was about a year ago up in Doylestown.
Yeah, and, the Norristown may not see a team this year who's really going to put up a great offense against them. So you may see great defensive numbers all year. Right now, it's a little bit more unbalanced than we thought it would be. With such a great battle, Norristown only winning that playoff battle last year by a touchdown over Pennridge, you thought maybe it would be about that close again, but Norristown is returning a lot of their skill players, and of course Troy Swittenberg, and Pennridge looks like they haven't really gained a whole lot in the way of skill players. Some of their running backs have come back, but it looks like their attack hasn't really been developed all that much, and certainly, I mean, Norristown defense, from what we can see, we can only say they're improved.
Swittenberg and Stewart, the deep men, to start the quarter for Norristown. Scott Davis. Or Joe Chapman, I'm sorry. Joe Chapman will be doing the kicking off for Pennridge. We are underway in the third quarter. Kick is very deep. They're going to let that one go into the end zone. Very impressive from a high school kicker to see them have a touchback. Will come out to the 20.
Scott Davis will take that any day. You can call me Chapman any day.
I bet you that kid plays soccer.
Oh, with a foot like that, he has to. How could he not?
I bet you I blocked a couple of his shots, too. I probably have the whelps to prove it. And they're all about 6'5". That's the problem. So, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Norristown would love to come out and put up an impressive drive here. Really come out in the third quarter and say, we're going to put this game away.
Yeah, and I think one more touchdown really would do it. When you face a team that doesn't have big playability, 3 scores in the 24 minutes of a second half is not a lot of time.
Swittenberg off the left side, he'll push through. He'll get about, let's call it 3 on the play.
And Greg, you asked what the Pennridge offense needs to do. It's the defense right now with Norristown getting the ball first that really needs to step up. And I think the defense's only choice and their only chance is to single cover any wide receivers Norristown's going to send wide and just focus everyone else on Troy Swittenberg. Norristown's changed it up a little bit with Lou Samba, but he's primarily a blocker. Hasn't touched the ball a whole lot and won't get big yards when he does. So Pennridge has got to focus almost 9 guys right on Swittenberg.
In other words, dare them to throw the ball.
Or dare them to run the sweep to Lou Samba.
Pretty scary when you see your fullback come to the outside and get a first down. I mean, Lou Samba's got to go into a game as a fullback, and any fullback's got to go into a game just thinking to himself, I'm probably going to get about 10 carries. I am going to be so sore by the end of the night because I'm just running into big 250-pound linemen. Then they sweep him off the end.
And that's nice to have that versatility because now they can pound Troy Swittenberg right up the middle. So reversal of roles there, but with good blocking and good running, anybody can go anywhere, really.
They did not get the first down on the last play. Stewart on the keeper, and they get a first down. Norristown very patient. This is what we talked about, how they were successful in the first half.
And it's a maturing team, and as experienced and as successful as this coaching staff has been, I really think it's a maturing coaching staff. With Norristown having a taste of the playoffs, you can see them starting to play very smart football, very professional style football. You get that lead, you sit on it. You get a 3rd and short, you run right behind your center with your quarterback.
Appear to be movement, no. It was number 8, Brian Gordon, up the middle. He was hit pretty hard.
And that's the only guy who's really shown a good tackling form tonight, and that's 84, Josh Derry. But that one shook him up a little bit. He's going to come off, but looks like he'll be back.
Good size on all of Norristown's running back. All around 185, 190. Guys who can break tackles. And of course, being a running back for Norristown, you've got to have some versatility.
Yeah, and with that great talent and the great wide receivers, they're not going to throw to the backs a whole lot. So that's not something you're going to see from this offense.
Probably a lot of teams who would die to have them as their wide receivers. Stewart going deep, looking for Terrell. incomplete. I thought Ernie Terrell would grab that ball. He had 3 guys trying to catch up to him. That's not going to happen. But unfortunately, play was not complete.
Well delivered again by Audley Stewart. A beautiful ball. He learned from the first ball he tried to throw to Terrell. Not to put so much air under, because Ernie Terrell is going to outrun. So Audley Stewart unleashed the ball that time, at least 30 yards in the air.
A personal foul against Norristown, so that'll push them back 15 yards. All of a sudden, that first down they got goes right down the drain.
Yeah, and that one was kind of hidden, so hidden that they didn't choose to specify exactly what happened, but just called the 15-yard personal.
So 2nd and 25. Stewart back to pass. Eludes a rusher. Up top. Pass was picked off. Yes, it was. Number 27 right there for Pennridge. That is Matt Tarbutton. A great play right there. Hazard tried to knock it out of his hands. He became a defensive back. Ball a little bit overthrown, and Pennridge now, little momentum swing.
Really nice athletic play by Tarbutton. He was the replacement for Josh Derry, who went out shaken up. And Tarbutton, playing the safety spot, came over and hawked that ball down, a little bit overthrown for Trey Hadrick into double coverage.
That's what a penalty will do for you. It forces you to have to force things a little, and Norristown, unfortunately, with a turnover right there. Now the handoff to John Cotron. He'll get a couple of yards up the middle. He appears to be the running back who's got the most, I guess you would say, running back talent on this team.
Yeah, he seems like he would be your main option coming straight out of the backfield. And I'm still surprised that we haven't seen them swing that ball around to some of their running backs, get them outside and get them a little bit of room.
I'm telling you, after that run back that was called back I saw from Jason Rhodes, I can't believe that I wouldn't try and get him the ball a little bit. Give Cotron about 3 on that last play. There it is to Rhodes. Good tackle right there by number 57, Jim Davis.
And Rhodes is no one-hit wonder. Last week against Wissahickon, 35-0. So as Pennridge put up 5 touchdowns, Rhodes had 4 of them. And we alluded to it in the pregame, but a 27-yard and a 14-yard touchdown run, caught a 30-yard touchdown pass, and he returned a punt for 57 yards. Along with that, not included to set up their 5th touchdown, a 74-yard kickoff return. So Jason Rhodes, when he touches the ball, can do a lot of things. For my money, they haven't gotten in the ball enough.
He's in motion right now. Briner, the handoff to the fullback Harris. He'll go up the middle for a first down. So Pennridge driving the ball now in dangerous territory.
Another nice run, and you see them start to grind a little bit, trying to ride that offensive line, and this is where you really need the line to come through for you. Still early in the 3rd quarter. You need to assert yourself a little bit, let Norristown know that you're still in this game, and take a little bit of the pressure off some of your skilled players just by getting yourself on the board with a good, solid drive and a good, solid touchdown.
Pennridge knows the score here would be very, very big for them. On first down, they'll go to Rhodes. Rhodes on the halfback option. He'll throw to the end zone. Just incomplete. A little bit of excitement there, a little bit of flair. Coach Jeff Hollenbach, we talked about the chances he had to take, and that was one of them.
And another dimension in Jason Rhodes' game. That time a little bit overthrown, but it looked like number 89, Dan Lorden, didn't think Rhodes could get it there. He slowed down a little bit, but I think Rhodes saw James Edmonds coming over fast from his safety position and tried to throw it past Edmonds, wound up throwing it by his own man as well. Nice call, though, and a good time for it.
Hand off right there to 35, Cotron.
And this is what you need to do if you're Pennridge. The lines, as far as the size goes, are pretty much going to cancel out. No one team up front there is a whole lot bigger than the other. So Pennridge needs to neutralize that Norristown speed by coming right at them. If Pennridge can sort of hold down that front five of Norristown, then they can hit the line quickly, get some positive yardage out of their running game.
3rd and 3. Big stop needed here from Norristown. They'd like to keep this game scoreless for Pennridge. Briner back to pass. He's got plenty of time. Looks over the middle. Completes the Rhodes. Little juke. And he'll get down to about the 11-yard line. Nice play right there from Jason Rhodes with good composure once again from Briner. He had a lot of time and he completed that pass.
And that time, Norristown did not rush a lot. They sent a couple guys, just their defensive ends, their normal 5-man rush. And Pennridge really contained it well. Briner didn't have to hurry his throw at all and delivered the ball well to Rhodes. Tell you what, that young man's fun to watch.
So we'll call it 1st and goal. It looks like they are at the 10-yard line. Briner the handoff. Tried to cut to the outside, nothing doing. A fired up Trey Hazard comes out of the huddle right there. They brought the safeties, they brought the linebackers up. They read that play well.
And that's your strong safety's job, to cut down that run. And that time Harris tried to get upfield. He did not want to go out that far. You saw him try to duck into that line, but there was nowhere to go. And when you have to bounce outside of your offensive line against Norristown, you're probably going to see Trey Hadrick.
A loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. This 2nd and goal, however. Briner back to pass. Floats one up into the end zone. Knocked away right there. James Edmonds, a great play. Pass might not have been complete, but still. Nice coverage right there. He got over there. Made sure that wasn't a touchdown.
And just more tremendous free safety play from James Edmonds. Every ball that's been up for grabs, he has gone and gotten tonight, whether knocking it away or causing it to be overthrown with good coverage, or his one interception that he's got tonight. So every time Pennridge tries to go to the air, they're fighting for space in that defensive backfield with James Edmonds.
So 3rd and goal. Pennridge wants points here in Norristown, not letting them have it too easy. Briner once again back to pass. Back the other way to Cochin. And he's tackled right there by number 57, Jim Davis. Nice job. Make sure that Cochin didn't get away, and 4th down for Pennridge.
And that you just have to credit to good individual tackling by Jim Davis. A real nice play call. I like the call a lot that time. And Cochin had some room in front of him, but Jim Davis wasn't going to let him get any farther. And they're going to choose to go for 3.
Scott Davis on the field. Attempt a 33-yard field goal. The snap is bobbled. Jason Rhodes picks it up, but he's not going to go anywhere. I guess that's the guy you want running the ball, but that goes wrong. Pennridge blows an opportunity right there to put something on the board, and that shutout continues.
And that's the key, Greg, something. They just need something. And that snap was low. It wasn't really Rhodes' fault, but they sure kicked it around some once it was on the ground. And that extra kick left Rhodes no chance to do anything with the ball.
Do you feel that breeze? I think it was the wind being knocked out from the other side of the field, and it's blowing this way. A tough break for the Rams right there. Now Norristown looking to hold on to the ball and settle this game down a little bit. Hand off to Swittenberg. That's the way they settle it down. Give him 2 on the carry.
And what has to really hurt Pennridge in that case is that they move the ball very well, including a little pass play across the middle to Rhodes, testing out the middle of that Norristown defense. We're starting to find some ways to move the ball, and without putting any points up at that point, now you have to start wondering, do you have enough time with the Norristown ball control offense coming at you?
We're down to about 3.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Stewart on the keeper. He'll throw it now. And he's got Brian Gordon wide open.
He had everybody wide open. Pennridge thought they had Stewart wrapped up, and they brought everybody in like it was going to be a running play. And oddly, Stewart, I'll tell you what, nobody could have blamed him that time if he had just taken off, tucked the ball away, either gone down or tried to get some running yards. But to look out and find Brian Gordon and hit him with a nicely thrown pass shows a lot of composure and great leadership from Audley Stewart.
Sign of an exciting player right there, never giving up on the play. Also a sign of a smart player. Sometimes you see a guy who tries to force a little bit too much. Audley Stewart making sure he knew what he had right there. The pitch to Swittenberg to the right side. He'll cut it back up the middle. A break to the outside. Nobody is going to catch him. Touchdown. Troy Swittenberg, 65 yards for a touchdown. Is it safe to say that would be the ball game?
Well, it answers one question. Who's faster, Troy Swittenberg or Jason Rhodes?
You said you wanted to see it.
We saw it. I'm not sure if we had had 20 more yards if Rhodes could have caught him, but Swittenberg outran him for 50. Wow, what a cutback. The cutback did it all that time. You can only get so much on the sweep because it requires blocker after blocker, but when you can get to the outside and then the great cutback up the middle, Troy Swittenberg just exploded once he hit that cutback, went straight ahead, knows how to bounce it to the outside.
Spicko on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. And it's good. So Norristown up 22-0 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Another little bit of momentum right there. Pennridge a chance to put points on the board. Doesn't happen. Norristown, 1 first down. All of a sudden they're in the end zone.
And when you have an offensive line that keeps coming at your opponent, that grinds, a talent like Troy Swittenberg, an all-state caliber back, is going to break a play like that. It's pretty much a guarantee when you keep grinding and grinding and grinding away. Maybe it doesn't happen in the first quarter or the second quarter, but eventually when a team's going to overcommit, and that was one of the first cutbacks that Troy Swittenberg's had all day. But with Pennridge overcommitting, really trying to get Swittenberg, hold him down, they know that they need the ball back and they need it back in a hurry. Troy Swittenberg timed that cutback perfectly and just exploded up the center of the field.
And I challenge anybody once you see Troy Swittenberg get that open space. It's funny because as you see the one on this side of the field, you think to yourself, oh man, he's got a chance to get to the end zone.
Well, he just has such great football instincts to go with a sprinter's speed. And along with that sprinter speed, he has what you'd call football speed. He just gets away. He runs away from people. And he has the instincts to know exactly where to go on the field to get away from defenders. And then just another gear that you are not going to see in this league.
You have to give credit also on that drive to Audley Stewart. Getting that first down and letting them run that play right there on the next first down that they had.
Well, Audley Stewart is really the perfect quarterback for this team. He could be doing a lot more, and he'd be a top running back on a lot of teams. But, you think of the glory position as quarterback, not on a Norristown team. The glory position is running back, and Audley Stewart just runs the team to be successful.
Could be Josh Derry catching that ball. He had about a 10-yard run up to that ball, and he got out to the 36-yard line. Excuse me, the 34. Pennridge with 2:54 left. The sense of urgency has set in. Now I've got to ask you this question. Does this Pennridge team make the playoffs with 1 loss?
Well, it's more of a 4A question. Obviously, they're in a hole winning the division, so that's going to put them in a hole. And they'd have to win out with the great teams in the Suburban 1 National. They'd have to win out. But they've done it before. Teams have certainly gone to the playoffs with 1 loss.
Briner in trouble. He throws that ball away. And we saw that last year with Norristown and North Penn both making the playoffs with 1 loss. And, of course, their only loss coming to CB West, both of them.
Well, I believe North Penn made it with 2 losses. One of them being the Central Bucks West, and one of them being, of course, the Norristown in the final game that put Norristown in the playoffs. It's somewhat of a complicated system that I would explain to you if I understood. But we've seen it happen before, so certainly it's possible for Pennridge to absorb a loss and still get to the district playoffs.
Now I've got to ask you this question. Do you see Norristown losing a game this year?
Well, the remaining schedule is Methacton, Upper Dublin, Souderton, Hatboro, Horsham, and Upper Marion. If you're tracking any of those teams, certainly Norristown would not be an underdog in any of those games, and they have shown the ability to put away weaker opponents. So this team does not look like it's ever going to be primed for a letdown. I would not expect them to lose again, no.
Well, shovel pass. Cochin is wrapped up right there. Griner in the offense really looking flustered on that drive. 3 and out. Now they'll have to punt the ball.
Well, I think the last drive where they were moving the ball and didn't get any points out of it really took the wind out of them, because now they're trying some different things. They're trying to be more creative, and as they get more creative, Norristown just gets more and more aggressive. And as you get more creative and try new things, you're going to lose more yardage. So now Pennridge winds up going backwards in some cases, and I think it's really disheartening for them.
A good punt right there. Edmonds bobbles it. Wisely falls right on top of it. Nothing we expect to see from the short-handed James Edmonds, but
well, it's been
a smart play right there.
There's been a lot of those dropped tonight. That pigskin still got some life in it. I'm this close to taking over Keith Jackson's top spot at ABC. The pigskin in the farm references.
And you're just like Keith Jackson. You went away, but you can't stay away. A little younger, though.
Ah, better looking, too.
Who, you or Keith Jackson? Stewart on the handoff up the middle. Nothing doing right there. You have to give credit on that long run from Troy Swittenberg on that last drive. Norristown receivers know how to block, and that's one of the things that helps Swittenberg. Once he gets past that line, he can go farther, and it's because of his receivers.
Absolutely. I mean, they know how to do it, and they seem to really enjoy it. They enjoyed it last year, but Troy Swittenberg is a guy who's just fun to block for because he uses the blocks. Troy Swittenberg will never waste a block. So if you throw in for him, chances are you can follow him into the end zone.
The pitch to Swittenberg. Breaks to the outside. Got a first down. Good hard run by Troy Swittenberg there. Give him 10 or 11 on the carry.
And again, he's not greedy. He's not trying to make the big play every time. He'll get the maximum out of every play for sure, but he's not trying to make the big play every time. That time you could see Troy Swittenberg, he's not thinking about the cutback, he's thinking about the stick. Get to the first down. And that time he had to outrun the linebacker to do it.
Ready for the last play of the third quarter here. Norristown out to the 35-yard line. Backs in the eye, receiver split. The pitch to the right side to Swittenberg. He'll get 2 or 3 on the carry. We'll go the other way with 12 minutes left in this game. Norristown absolutely dominating, 22-0 after 3 quarters. Bit of a surprise here. I thought we were going to have a much more contested game from Pennridge. They just have not shown that they can hang with this Norristown team.
Well, if this game goes into the half 9-0, you're going to get what you'd expect. You get a Norristown defense that's only allowed 1 touchdown in 4 games, throwing another shutout. That you would expect. And you're going to have a close game with 2 teams that coming in you thought were fairly evenly matched, although I think probably most people would have put Norristown as the favorite. It's those mistakes in those 30 seconds at the end of that second quarter. That interception was just very, very costly.